Okay, welcome back to the channel. Right, today, let me do that, sorry. Right, today we're going to do an oil change on Doris. It's been, what is she on now, about 800, nearly 900 miles since we last changed the oil, just before we went away on holiday in her. Being that she's a new reconned engine, obviously we've got to keep the oil up to date. So today, oil change. So let's run you through what we're going to be doing. So new filter, oil, part cleaner, obviously bucket, and something to dispose of it of. So take the oil cap off, make sure that there's no contaminants in it, give that a clean before it goes back in place. So we'll just shove that up on the bulkhead for now, just to let her breathe. Other thing we're going to do is just pop the dipstick out, just so that she's got room to breathe when we drop the oil. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put you downstairs, hopefully, although I will have to lay down and check to make sure we've got everything. Right. Sun bucket. Take out the oil. Okay. There's the sun. All array of sockets. I can't flipping remember what size it is. It's too big. That one. Smaller than that. That's alright. Give me a sec, I'm not going to get the right frigging socket. Wait a moment. Right. So, what we're undoing is, I've got to try and get this right now, the sump plug, which you can see just there. Okay, it's a 13mm socket. Right, put you back there. Okay, so 13mm, I've partially undone it. This is a bit wet. Best doing it when it's hot. Just be obviously aware that it is hot, so it will flipping burn you, hence gloves. Having just driven from the yard, I can confirm that this is very hot. Okay, so nice and gentle, and there we go. Keep a hold of the sump plug, people. Oh, that's a must. So you don't want to be fishing that out of the bloody pond of boiling oil. Right, so what you're looking for on the end of the sump, okay, this is slightly magnetised, this bit, and what that will do is capture any swarf out of the engine that drops down. So you do need to check that when you dig it out, just to make sure that there's nothing on there. I'm not going to replace this just yet because I've only got another 1,000 miles to do, and then I've got to change it again. So at that point I'll change the sump plug. So what you're looking at is, so it's draining nicely in there, okay, and then we're going to be taking off the oil filter. I really must get myself proper oil filter wrenches, but I've got a strap that does the job quite well with a 1/2 inch wrench. So you just leave that to drain out nicely, and then all of that will go in my big bucket ready to dispose of responsibly down the tip. Sorry, it is quite noisy. So so we're going to put you back down there while we're doing this. This is a DIY job. Take your time, be methodical. So you literally just need, sorry, it is very noisy with the road, everyone is going home. So you just need, I mean, I'm using, to get off the initial nut is a 3/8 drive ratchet with a 13mm socket. Got a 1/2 inch with a strap. Take the filter off when I need to do that, and then what we're going to do is we'll wait until it gets down to a dribble. We'll put the sump plug back in, we'll give it a bit of a clean, and then we'll take off the filter so we can move the bucket over. Like I say, it is a DIY job, right, for anybody with a modicum of, you don't even need mechanical knowledge, it's just a modicum of sense, working methodically. You need the oil hot so it flows. Once it's flowing, so that you get rid of all of the oil out of the sump, well, as best as possible anyway. So you need the engine hot, obviously, to do that. Once that's drained, you need to take the filter off and change the filter. There are a couple of steps to putting the filter back on so that it doesn't break the seals, and then top it up with oil. It's literally that. Don't pay for a garage. Your council tips will take your waste oil and that, so all you need is an oil capture. You can pick them up on Amazon and eBay for about 10-15 quid. That's quite a deep one, so that I can empty the radiators as well. But any old bucket, you know, if you can't do that, get an empty oil container and use that. So a big tray, anything that will take the volume of oil that you've got in your engine, which in this particular case is about 7 litres. So, and then the only other things you need to do is just a rag just to clean up the drips. So, right, that's about good enough for that. So we'll just lean that out of the way, and then unplug, wind it back in, and then rag just to give that a bit of a wipe. Put that back on. Now there is a specific Newton for these things, and it's only about 5 Newton in my particular case. It is not a lot. You do not have to gun your sump plug on, so don't. Right. A little bit of, like I say, a little bit of cleaner, just to get rid of any residue oil. Give it a wipe down. And it just keeps it nice underneath. You don't want lots of oil dripping down. Right, now for the fun one, the filter. The filter should be hand tight. You shouldn't necessarily need a strap. Now this one is hand tight. Now there will be oil comes out of that, so just release it till it starts to leak. Now I'm quite lucky, this one is a down facing filter, so it will capture most of the oil that comes out from this way. This is a messy job, so do wear gloves. And like I said, it does work best if the engine is hot. Oh crap. Don't drop the sump. You get that, I get oil everywhere then. Oh. There you go, that's what I've got to do. Right. You'll never know. Right. Yeah. Filter this somewhere. Right. Right, your new oil filter. Okay, comes with a rubber gasket on it. Around there. Old oil. Do that just to lube it. That way that seal is not going to bind. And then get that out of the way. So what we'll do, let's move you around to this side, so you can see. Right. You see there? Yeah, you can see that. Right, okay. So, oh, bloody next to this. Right, so, just wind it on. And then clean it because I've got bloody oil everywhere, okay? And then I use a dry rag just so I can grip the sodding thing, okay? But it just needs to be hand tight. Do not seriously, people, do not over tighten that, because that will piss oil everywhere. Okay, so hand tight, and then again give it a nice good clean under there. Okay, right. Okay, and then just clean engine is a nice engine. You know, like me, you've spent more than £1 or £3 fix the bloody things. Keep it clean. So, keep it nice. Especially up round like your earth straps and that, okay? Because oil, when it splats, like that did, goes flipping everywhere. And then if you do have an issue, you're not going to know. And that is essentially an oil change. So what we need to do now is go topside and fill the bloody thing. Right. So, filter, filler cap, again, just clean, get any residual off of there. Give it a nice wipe down. And pay particular attention to the, oh yeah, let's do that, right. Pay particular attention to the O-rings, make sure there's no nicks or damage to it, and that you've got nice fresh oil everywhere. And then okay, so this for this one, this is what I'm using. This is Manhole 5W30 for the forge. Oh dear. God, hold on. Right, we're back. Right, cut yourself down a bottle. Right, sits in. You get a nice big hole to pour it into then, and then pour away. And if you do this right, because the engine's hot, it'll go straight through to where you need. So, I'm just going to get 30 seconds to settle. We'll do a little bit of housekeeping. Because like that. Cleaning your spills as you go, guys. Okay, and then simply dip, check, clean your dipstick, plug it back in, pull it, see where you're at, and we are on the button. Now what you'll find with this is that it will drop down. Obviously it's got to fill the filter first and foremost, so you will see a small drop in your oil level. So after you've changed your oil, just give it a little bit of time to settle, and that for the filter to absorb the oil and start doing its thing. You want to try and get it all the way down before you start it. So whilst the dipstick is reading full, obviously that's not taking into account the filter at this stage. Your next job, once you've done that, is to go back underneath. So we'll put you back downstairs. Oh, hold on. There we go. Put you back downstairs for a sec. Like that. And what you're doing is quick visual look to make sure that you've got no leaks from a cold start around your oil filter housing and your sump. And then when you're happy that everything is dry, which we are, that's just reflection. Right, so when you're happy that everything is okay, you can replace your filler cap, start her up just to allow the oil to pump through, and then check it again just to make sure. There are alternatives. You can pre-fill these before you screw them in. That does help matters, but generally speaking that only works on this sort where you're feeding it up from the bottom. If you get it wrong and you drop it, it's going everywhere. So to me, I don't fill them beforehand. I always wait until they're on and then fill, just in case. You did see me drop that one in there, so I've got to fish that out of the bloody pond of crappy oil, and then I'll leave that to just drain. That'll take a day or so to fully drain out, and then we'll stick that in to the appropriate recycling for these, which is not your household bin. Do not dispose of these in your household bin. So I've got special containers that they all sit in for the cars and for Doris before they go off down to the tip with the waste oil. So hope that was useful. Thanks for, I tell you what, let me do this in person. Oh dear. So thanks for watching. Do give it a thumbs up and a like. I hope this was I hope you learned something from it. It's the same principle on all of them. We've got a different type of vid coming out for the weekend, so this is just a short one. Sorry, I keep moving my arm a bit too close there, so you get right up my face. She's developed a problem, so she had a small issue a couple of weeks or so, about a month ago, with a low battery warning. Tested and changed the battery because the battery was dead. Been on there 11 years. Bless her, love her to bits. She's given me no trouble, touch wood, over the last 11 years, with the exception of a starter motor and obviously normal wear and tear stuff. Now the alternator has proved to be faulty, so we've ordered a new clutch pulley wheel. So you'll see the strip down of her over the next few days. We'll start stripping down the front end to get to the alternator. We've got to move the power steering pump, fans, lots of hoses, got to drain the radiator coolant. There's a lot of crap to come off just to get to a bloody alternator anyway. So that's what we're going to be doing on Joe, and then you'll see that done. And hopefully we can get that back on. We'll have a look at the alternator bushes as well. May end up being a whole new alternator, but we're going to try this bit first. So that was Doris on an oil change. That's her second oil change, so the next one is 1,000 now, another 1,000 away, and then it's standard oil changes after that. So yeah, so thanks for watching. Do give it a thumbs up and a like, and please do subscribe. Please do tell others about it, and if you've got any questions, do ask. I will answer them. I do answer every comment that's left on the channel. So again, thank you, take care, see you soon. Bloody can't find the off button.